It's 2025. You're still wearing the same clothes you wore in 2015. I'm still wearing the same lip gloss I've had since 2005. Some things never change. Because every year, for at least a month, we try and become the best versions of who we want to be. Were you just not going to tell me that my camera was crooked this whole time? I thought we were friends. Now, I'm not really one to make New Year's resolutions. I kind of gave up on that dream in year 9. However, if I was one to write New Year's resolutions, I generally try and write them where somewhere I'm going to see them more often. Because like many people, if I don't see it on a day-to-day basis, I'm probably going to forget you exist. However, with every New Year's resolution that I've ever written, probably comes an equal amount of failure. Why is it, you may ask? Well, I'm dyslexic, so maybe reading just isn't the forte that I need to be taking. No, wait. So yeah, so this year I'm going to ditch the whiteboard and I'm going to be making my New Year's resolutions in the form of a mood board. So here's the plan. You know, I tried to be funny and turn us around, but now I just realized it's a more plain version of what we were standing in front of before, but it'll do. So over the past year, I've been gifted a small village's worth of tiny canvases. They're very cute, very whimsy, and very impractical. I have used some of these tiny canvases before to create some of the world's smallest paintings. However, trying to focus on that much detail at any one given time is just more than my brain has any power left to care for. So I'm going to be taking the classic idea of a mood board and combining it with my own passion for art by combining the collage and the canvases and painting it. Did you understand that? Was that clear? Clearly talking isn't my strong suit, so why don't we just get into the action? Many hours have passed, the microphones started dying, so I had to charge them, and then I needed lunch, and long story short, it's like 4 hours later. And to be fair, I don't even know if these mics are working, because on my camera it says that they're off, but like they're registering and they're doing the thing, so this might be the worst video coming back into the new year ever, but I'm running with it. Alright, so let me just talk you through what I did really quick. So I ended up just going with 4 resolutions rather than the 8, just because I couldn't think of 2 other things. But now I'm realizing that one of those things definitely should have been clean girl aesthetic, because holy shit, my workspace is a mess. However, I used the 2 big canvases that I wanted to be my bigger goals, and then I did 4 little goals, and you know what? I think 6 is a good number anyway for number of aspirations, and realistic things I could probably achieve this year. So let's just run them through really quick. So, number 1, store. Basically what this means is that I really want to own, I guess. I really want to run my own stall at a convention. So while I already have my own Redbubble, which is still up by the way if you wanted to have a look at some stuff, I really just like making knickknacks and some other things too, some bigger things, not just like random shit. But I think basically if I was in like a real life D&D campaign, I don't think I would be a fighter, even though I also love playing like druids and things. I don't think I would like be in the party, you know? I think genuinely I would be the shopkeep, because I love just having things. My latest venture has been creating some potions, so hopefully I want to get those out before halfway through this year. But there's just a bunch of things I want to make and hopefully sell off to you guys, whether that be one-of-one things or things that are recurrent in a shop, but I really want to get a shop up and running. This was actually one of my goals for last year, but it didn't quite come to fruition because I ended up moving and doing a bunch of other shit. But I really want to have a stall, and I think this year might be the year. This one's a little bit random, which you might have seen when I was writing it. 5K obstacle run. Look, as we get older, we all just get a little bit goddamn unfit, and that has hit me harder than anyone I know, honestly. Last year, I was diagnosed, I wasn't really, with asthma. I'm not gonna lie, I went in for asthma, they gave me a chest x-ray, they did a bunch of shit, it was kind of weird. They said everything looked fine, but they gave me an asthma inhaler anyway, which has worked, so clearly something's going on there. But even though I'm still relatively active, I go to the gym, I have a very physically demanding job, my fitness for where I was when I was like 17 has dropped so goddamn dramatically, and it kind of scares me. And I'm pretty sure I've only run 5K once in my life, and I know for a fact I couldn't do it nonstop. The obstacle run bit is just because I think running 5K would be boring as shit. And I keep seeing these on YouTube, and my toxic trait is going, I could do that. I'd die. I've had an asthma attack and I would die. So that is a very, it's still a big goal to be fair, because it's a personal thing to me, but like the other 2 on the big canvases are better, I think. So speaking of big canvases, house. I'm at the age where everyone I know is either getting married or having kids, and I'm not there yet. But do you know what I would love? a house. Along with making things and having trinkets, I like to collect things, but I also like to personalize my space, and this is really, really hard to do when you're renting, but also renting is more expensive than the repayments on a house, like per week, and I think that's the most dumb shit. So the only issue is that I obviously don't have the savings to put down a deposit, so I'm gonna try and save all my money this year, which is also where YouTube comes into play. I would love to get monetized because, like I said, I like to make things, collect things, and that isn't really conducive to saving money. So it becomes a little bit of a vicious cycle, and I do it to myself, but you know. However, YouTube is something I've been working on for longer than I care to admit, and while I still do enjoy making the videos for me, it would be nice to be able to get some financial gain from it. It helps me continue to grow as a creator. It helps me to continue to make bigger things. Like, the only reason I got that 3D printer in the back is because someone gave it to me for free. That wasn't something I'd be able to get anytime soon on my own, even though I know that there is cheaper ones, but like other things always take priority. So yeah, I don't want to dwell into that one too much, which is kind of weird because we're on YouTube, but I'm just not very sentimental. I get weird around sentimental shit. Moving on. Japan. Last year Sam and I were supposed to go to Japan for his birthday, but we ended up going back home. I get a little espresso depresso when I keep seeing people I know on Instagram traveling around the world. I do get a little bit upset because the one thing that nobody tells you about moving abroad is that 90% of your travel money is spent going back home. And thankfully my family now also lives in Australia, so it's not as expensive to go see them, but it is still an expense. And so I could have been I could have almost done Kentucky by now through Europe with the amount of money that I've spent just flying back to New Zealand and back to Perth, and that's kind of sad. But turns out from Perth, Japan, real cheap flights. Yeah, travel, man. The last one, which I now regret leaving till last because it's depressing as fuck. Make more friends. I'm not very good at going outside. I love outside and I love outdoors. However, I'm just not very good at doing it in the sense of meeting people. I don't go to a ton of events, or if I do, I go with Sam. I'm very socially awkward. I love people. However, not new ones. Does that make sense? I'm an introverted extrovert is what I like to call it. I'm loud, I'm bubbly, I love talking to people, but if I have to introduce myself to you first, I'm going to just panic the whole time. Or I'll go into a hospitality voice and nothing penetrates the surface. You'll be like, wow, she's super nice. And I'm just sitting there going, I want to die. My camera's dying, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Now let's just get into the making. Alright, it's time for a little check-in, a little update. It is now 9:12. I started this craft at 2:30? This is where we're at the moment. I've covered them in PVA over the top as well, just to seal everything in. Did it wreck the paper? A little bit. So I just need to wait for them to dry, but now that we're at this point, obviously there's a lot of like spare canvas around the place, and also the acrylic paint that I have is kind of shit. So there's a couple places where the red that I wrote in is showing through, which isn't, you know, the vibe. So for the dream house, I want to make this look like a little house. So I want to build like a little roof. It's probably going to be out of cardboard, but I think I might do popsicle sticks. I don't know, make it cute. So the house, I want to do like an actual house. The mud one, I was thinking to do some like brown splats to be like dirt, and I want to mix that with probably flour and glue, maybe. Make it thick, make it dirty. This one I just wanted to paint some champagne glasses on. It's kind of boring, but so am I. This I wanted to paint some cherry blossoms on, which I just now realized I painted the borders pink, and I really shouldn't have done that. I'll figure it out. YouTube, no idea. I was supposed to make this look like a YouTube play button, but I forgot. So that one might just be red. And then this one, I think I'm just gonna do the same old... Oh, I should have painted this to look like wood. This one I think I'm just gonna add some moss to, you know? So I think there's gonna be one more final montage, and then I don't really plan a lot because they never really work. So let's just go montage time. I love how these turned out, honestly. I really want to add more when I eventually come up with more goals. I think they're a really, really cute way to just keep your ideas like in the moment. I'm so prone to having ideas, really wanting to see them through, and then just forgetting about them just because it's what happens. And so this is a really good way to keep your goals without just writing do better. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe and help make this goal, there we go, this goal come true. But if you're not new here on YouTube, you probably know the whole spiel, so like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!